Well, one of the most basic points of information that you have to give to the customer about any ULIP plan are the various fund options that are available. And as the advisor to the customer, it is our job to make sure that they understand the different options that are there and to help them make the best decision for their financial goals. So let's quickly get into it and understand what the broad options are. As we can see, we can categorize the fund options into low, medium, and high risk categories. Of course, the fundamental question is, what do we mean by risk? Well, so risk is simply the deviation that might happen from what you expect to get when you invest your money in some place. Say if I invest 10,000 rupees in an SBI fixed deposit at 9%, I know that at the end of 1 year I'll get 900 rupees. I won't get 850, I won't get 1000, but I'll definitely get 900 rupees over my 10,000. However, if I invest in a stock, say something like Renuka Sugars, my 10,000 might just go to 15,000, but it can go to 8,000 as well. So my stock investment will obviously have a much higher risk, which is what we can see in the graph over here. If I'm holding cash, I get negligible returns, but I'm also carrying negligible risk. If I have 1000 rupees in my pocket, I'll have 1000 rupees today, I'll have 1000 rupees tomorrow, I'll have 1000 rupees at the end of 1 year. So nothing's going to happen to it. Then at the next stage is the fixed interest, something like a normal fixed deposit or a government bond. I get some return, but I also take in some amount of risk. You might ask, what sort of risk is there? Well, the bank can default, right? Say something like you invest in a cooperative bank. It can default, it has happened before. So although banks don't default as much, there's still that risk. So there is some amount of risk that you take up when you invest in a fixed deposit. At the other extreme, you have shares. Like we said, you can expect a 40-50% return, but you're also taking a huge amount of risk of that being actually getting into the negative. So based on how the fund is structured and where the money is invested, we categorize the funds into low, medium, and high. So obviously now we can say that the low risk fund would be invested in places where the risk of getting anything different from the promised rate is low, and which is what we see over here. Funds are invested in low risk but low return fixed income products, something like government bonds, debt funds, etc. And to ensure that the risk is minimized as much as possible, the low risk funds will usually be not invested in stocks at all. We move one step higher, you get into medium risk funds. Like the name suggests, the medium risk is just about keeping a balance between the low risk and low return funds and high risk, high return equity. And the mix of that is determined by the kind of fund that you invest in. Of course, even when they invest in equity, the stocks that the fund manager would pick would be the relatively safer ones. Something like a large blue chip company like Tata Steel, Reliance, Tata Motors, State Bank of India, or the like, to ensure that even though the money is invested in stocks, the risk that is picked up is not abnormally high. So like we say over here, consistently performing. That's the operative word for a medium risk fund. And then of course, we get to the high risk ones. At least 50% of the fund is usually invested into stocks. The single sole aim of this particular fund is to maximize growth as much as possible. The fund manager is usually extremely aggressive and will invest into the more higher performing stocks that the manager would deem. And the stocks are chosen with the awareness that even though they might promise high return, there is a fair amount of risk of not getting that particular return as well. If we go back, we can see the different funds that are there, between a bond focused one to a balanced growth to a full equity fund, based on how and where the money is invested. So how do we help the customer to decide? Well, that depends on a various number of factors, like their income status, their income growth plan, the long-term financial goals, the short-term financial goals, and of course their individual risk appetite, which is where your knowledge of the customer would come into play. More detail on that in the next module. Thanks so much.